2nd, 2016. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. Today is a bank holiday in the United Kingdom, celebrating May Day, which was yesterday. The debt crisis in Puerto Rico has reached a new level. The governor of Puerto Rico said this morning that Puerto Rico today will not pay most of the $470 million in debt payments that are due today. Officials spent the weekend trying to negotiate a settlement that would have avoided default. They were unable to do so. The governor said this is a painful decision. He said they could not make the payment without sacrificing basic necessities for the island's 3.5 million residents. Puerto Rico is struggling under the weight of $72 billion in debt that its officials say it can't pay. They're expecting multiple lawsuits to be filed shortly after the default today. An explosion and fire on a major Spectra Energy Corporation pipeline that crosses half of the United States is disrupting natural gas shipments from western Pennsylvania to the northeast. The explosion occurred on Friday. Gas futures immediately went up. Crews shut off the gas feeding the flames, which burst out of Spectra's 36-inch Texas Eastern pipeline in Salem Township, Pennsylvania, near Pittsburgh. Friday morning at 8:30, repairs have begun. It's unclear when full service will be restored. Fortunately, according to spokespeople, the area is in a nexus of gas lines, so they're going to be able to do some rerouting. However, there will in fact be a diminished flow. At least 6 people died in Texas over the weekend after a spell of torrential downpours and damaging hail and tornadoes caused widespread flooding. Most of the flooding was in Anderson County, about 90 miles southeast of Dallas. It was worst hit over the weekend when it received about 20 millimeters of rain in just 1 hour. 5 people were found dead who, in fact, were able to leave their homes but were then washed away. Elsewhere, strong winds in Houston uprooted trees and snapped power lines, leaving more than 4,200 people without electricity. In southeastern Australia over the weekend, heavy rain and damaging winds brought severe autumn storms to the area. Trees and power lines were brought down in South Australia, Victoria, and Tasmania as severe weather swept across the region. The strength of the winds reached gusts of more than about 65 miles per hour. Winds in Tasmania were recorded at about 80 miles per hour. There are widespread blackouts across Victoria, where as many as 36,000 homes were without electricity at the height of the storm. Swedish rescue workers say that a 5-story concrete apartment building has essentially burned itself completely out. It forced the evacuation of 150 residents. The blaze started on the top floor and then spread from end to end along the 200-foot-long building. This occurred in the city of Husqvarna, near the southern city of Jönköping. Nobody was injured, however the building is in fact a total loss. Yesterday there was a CSX derailment, a rail derailment in Washington, D.C. on the Brunswick line. It will not be operating in and out of Washington today. Commuter traffic on the Maryland rail transit system has been severely impacted. They say that their trains will not run past Silver Spring. Service on the Washington, D.C. Metro was interrupted all day yesterday, but was finally fully restored last night. The derailment on Sunday morning knocked 15 cars off the tracks and spilled hazardous materials. CSX officials say they don't know how long the cleanup will take yet. Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway held their annual Woodstock for Capitalists meeting in Omaha over the weekend, on Saturday to be precise. Some 35,000 people attended. Mr. Buffett was talking about reinsurance. He said that game has been over for a while. It looks like it will be at least unattractive, if not terrible, for a considerable period in the future. He was talking about low bond yields that have hurt the prospects of operating a reinsurer successfully. Berkshire has exited investments in reinsurance rivals such as Munich and Swiss Re, scaled back some operations at its Gen Re unit. He said it's no fun running a traditional reinsurance company and having money come in, particularly in Europe, and then looking around for investment choices and find out that a great many of the things you were buying a few years ago now have negative yields. He mentioned some of the U.S. hedge fund managers that have begun to come into Bermuda in particular to operate reinsurers. He said that those companies are going to continue to be less attractive over the next decade. He said reinsurance is a beard that those people hide behind to manage money outside the U.S. It's not the greatest reinsurance in the world. Nevertheless, it's a very, very easy way to have a disguised investment operation in a friendly tax jurisdiction. Still, Buffett said that reinsurance operations at Berkshire have the advantage of its size, meaning they can take on risks that smaller rivals won't take. He says that Berkshire benefits from diversity throughout its entire operation. How true he is. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.